You're not an asshole for needing space. But if you don't really know what legal separation means, then you might be setting yourself up to fail. That's exactly the situation Jessica is facing. Dear Wolfe Shore, my husband and I are still living in the same house, but we've stopped speaking unless it's about the kids. I want to separate and start setting boundaries, but he says I can't do anything until I actually file for divorce. Is that true? Am I being for wanting to move on before the paperwork is filed? If you're living in limbo and wondering how to separate before you file for divorce, I'm going to break it down for you today. Hi, my name is Kristen Wolf with Wolfe Shore Law Group. I'm a family law attorney here in the state of Connecticut. At Wolfe Shore Law Group, we help you to resolve your marriage with clarity and confidence so that you can move on with your life. So Jessica, let's talk about whether you can separate before filing for divorce and what you need to know in order to do so. So first off, you're not being an setting boundaries, especially when you are potentially filing for divorce, is super important. However, what you might not be thinking about is how complicated a separation gets when you don't define it legally. Here at Wolfe Shore Law Group, we've worked with hundreds of people in the same situation as you. So here's what we usually recommend. So first, create a separation agreement. When we're talking about a separation agreement, at least in this context, we're not saying that you should figure out how you're going to dissolve everything in your divorce right now. Rather, we're trying to say that you need to figure out how you're going to live separately while you're still married for the time being. These things kind of include how you're going to be paying the bills, who's going to be living where, what is your custody situation going to be. These are things that you can figure out in advance that are going to help you moving forward. Number two, use a mediator or an attorney to do this. Look, going through divorce is stressful enough on you, but it's also harder trying to extract all of the important things that you're going to have to do to be prepared for that. So take it easy on yourself. Hire a professional that knows what they're doing. The odds of you forgetting something if you hire a professional are much less than if you were to do it on your own. Number three, document everything. Keep a clear record of who's responsible for what, who's paying what bills, and so on and so forth. This is going to help you moving forward, having written documentation and proof if it ever becomes an issue. Number four, avoid gray area living. So you asked if setting boundaries made you an asshole, but honestly, one of our recommendations is to in fact set boundaries, especially if you're still living under the same roof. You need to understand who's going to be in which room, what the schedules are, and how you're going to be interacting and or parenting your kids. And number five, make sure you prepare financially. Make sure you understand all of your accounts, whether they are bank accounts, retirement accounts, stocks, bonds, whatever the case may be. Make sure you have an open mind as to what they are and you understand them so that when you're going into a divorce, you know what it is that you have as a married couple, and it will help you to figure out what needs to be divided in the future. Generally speaking, this is how we advise a lot of our clients that come to us. But every situation is different, and every situation has specific circumstances that need specific advice. So if you're going through this situation and you think that you need some specific information to help you get through it, then give us a call at 203-745-3151 or visit our website at www.wolfenshorelaw.com.